We all know sports are dangerous. As someone who done sports in their life for some time, and almost anyone will tell you how they are gotten injured one way or the others. It's just how it is with sports. Okay, hi and assalamualaikum. My name is Farhan Jasri. My number matric is 2021 8012. So today I will present about the world most dangerous sports. Well, if you think about it, being alive is a danger in itself. But some sport activity, especially the extreme ones, have a level of danger that can be matched by anything else. The hard part here is figuring out which ones are the most dangerous. If you take into account the overall number of injuries, you might find that cheerleading and fishing are in the top 10. Surprising, is it? If you take the number of people who practice a sport, it may sound like a skydiving is overall safer than football. Take the number of fatalities and climbing Everest tops the list with over 1 in 10 people dying. If you call that a sport and not suicide attempts, that's it. So we go to the introduction first. Start with the attention getter. According to Philip Francis, sports in general are dangerous just because of their very nature. They require us to push the limits of our bodies to reach new high of physical existence. But sometimes we can push too high, and just like we can get we can get burned pretty bad. So reason to listen of this topic because dangerous sport are usually pursued in remote location with little or no access to medical care, with the athlete competing against oneself of the force of nature. They involve high speed, high, real or perceived danger, a high level of physical exertion, spectacular stunts, and high ten risk element of death. Popularity for such sport has increased exponentially over the past 2 decades with dedicated TV channels, internet sites, high rating competition, and high profile sponsor drawing more participants. So we go to the credibility statement. I'm always interested in sport activity, especially with dangerous sport, because that will give me more the motivation to read or search for data on the world most dangerous sport and do internet research about it. In addition, it can also spread to the community who like the dangerous sport. So for the central idea of this topic, which is the world most dangerous sport, to provide an overview of literature on common injuries affecting the extreme athletes, the risk of their occurrence, and available prevention measure. Okay, we go to the main ideas for informative speech. The main point, the number one is a traditional perspective on dangerous sports. So, according to Willig 2008, dangerous sport research has focused on the participant and investigation of physiological causes, experiential phenomena, or social explanation. Dangerous sport really on physical environment like structure or for base jumping, big wave for surfing, and social environments such as host communities, financial, social, political, and environmental resources. The number two, a study carried out by broke local guides, commonly referred to as chauffeurs, have played a key role in these summits, and those are intimately affected by the development of these dangerous spots. This is exemplified by cases wherein mountain tourists have been agreeable dragged up to the summit and carried back down again. Despite their important role in this dangerous sport, many chauffeurs lack appropriate equipment or clothing to undertake their role safety. The number three refer to Elmer says this and other publicized example of the negative impact of dangerous sports on host community reflect traditional assumption regarding dangerous sport. Non-participant and researcher often portray dangerous sport participants as deviant, selfish, risk-taking, adrenaline-seeking, and crazy hedonists out to conquer nature. The number four of the main point, the number one, which is consequently dangerous sport have recently gained recognition as a potential vehicles for community health against. Other than that, dangerous sport could be vehicle for encouraging physical activity amongst people. This is interested in traditional sports. Okay, we go to the main point number two, which is a dangerous sport and their associate injuries. So number one is according to International Parachuting Commission (IPC), skydiving is a major air sports of parachuting from an aircraft. In total, 5.5 million jumps made by almost 1 million jumper in 40 countries, including tender jumps. Since the late 1980s, a few epidemiological studies have been conducted in order to establish the injury and fatality rates associated with the sports. Fatalities are seen more frequently in those who are considered expert or seasoned jumpers, occurring where the skydiver had at least one good parachute on. So the number two is climbing is an adventure sports which has developed from alpine mountaineering. Its popularity has vastly grown in the past 3 decades. A cross-sectionally survey on rock climbing show a lower frequency injury rate compared to football and horse riding, but with more catastrophic or fatal consequence. Most studies show that the incidence of overuse injuries is associated with climbing frequency and difficulty. So the number three of this main point, which is the sport of wave surfing is ever growing with a huge market involved, commercialization of surfing apparel and the surfing lifestyle, fashion trends, and media coverage. A survey of self-reported injuries in Australia in 1983 found 3.5 moderate to severe injuries resulting in lost day of surfing or requiring medical care per thousand surfing days. For the number one, based on snow sport, skiing and snowboarding are the two in dangerous sports, becoming a Winter Olympic sport. In Garmisch in 1936, with snowboarding becoming an Olympic sport in 1998. The risk of injury from recreational alpine skiing is generally accepted to be between 1 and 2 injuries per thousand participant days. Snowboarders are more likely to injure the upper limb than their lower limb, unlike skies, where losing result falls due to loss of balance are frequent and not surprisingly, beginner snowboarders are at higher risk.